What if I told you that your fruit bowl has one of the most effective methods for regaining lost muscle after the age of 60? We frequently consider muscle loss to be a normal aspect of aging, something to be tolerated, controlled, and sometimes even dreaded. However, there is a startling realization emerging from the fields of nutrition and neurobiology. Natural substances found in some fruits may aid initiate muscle regeneration at the cellular level, in addition to supporting muscle maintenance. This is very important. We lose muscle mass more quickly after the age of 60, by as much as 3 to 5% every 10 years. Sarcopenia is a condition that is more than just a cosmetic issue. It results in decreased strength, a slower rate of recovery, an increased risk of falls, and a loss of independence. Here's the breakthrough, though. Recent studies have demonstrated that certain phytonutrients, such as potassium-rich compounds, anthocyanins, and ursolic acid, can improve insulin sensitivity, decrease inflammation, promote muscle protein synthesis, and even activate pathways related to satellite cell repair, the cells that actually rebuild muscle tissue. Healthy eating is no longer the aim. This has to do with tailored diet that understands your biological language. In this episode, we'll examine the top 5 fruits that can help you reverse age-related muscle loss. These fruits are frequently disregarded but have scientific support. You'll discover what they are, how they function, when to consume them, and the biochemical processes that underlie their capacity to help repair muscle. Since understanding what to eat is only half the fight, we'll also look at the behavioral science underlying healthy eating. Even if you've never considered yourself to be someone who eats for performance, I'll give you doable strategies and easy steps to help you incorporate these fruits into your daily routine in a sustainable way. You'll have more than just a shopping list at the end of this episode. One mouthful at a time, you'll have a neuroscience-based plan for recovering your resilience, strength, and vitality. Let's begin. Protein is the first thing that most people think of when they consider developing muscle, especially beyond the age of 60. Although dietary protein is unquestionably vital, the process by which your body determines whether to grow, maintain, or break down muscle is frequently disregarded. The amount of protein you consume is not the first factor in that decision. Cellular signaling is the first step. These signals come from within your body and instruct muscle cells to grow, mend, or break down. A biochemical pathway known as mTOR, or mechanistic target of rapamycin, is one of the most significant of these signals. The master switch for the synthesis of muscle proteins is mTOR. It instructs your body to begin constructing muscle tissue when it is active. Resistance exercise and critical amino acids, particularly leucine, have historically been implicated in this changeover. This is where it becomes interesting, though. Additionally, several fruits have the ability to either activate mTOR or improve the circumstances that facilitate its activation. As an illustration, consider ursolic acid, a naturally occurring substance present in the skins of apples, cranberries, and prunes. By boosting IGF-1 signaling and inhibiting atrophy genes, ursolic acid enhanced muscle mass and brown fat in mice, according to research from the University of Iowa that was published in Cell Metabolism. Simply put, even in the absence of exercise, this substance replicates some of the biological effects of strength training. Fruit won't take the place of lifting weights, of course, but consider a combination of the two: resistance training as the main motivator and nutrient-dense fruits as cellular amplifiers that improve your performance. This connection becomes crucial as we get older. Anabolic resistance is a condition in which our mTOR signaling becomes less responsive. This implies that in addition to additional protein, we also need substances that strengthen the root itself in order to get a stronger signal. Fruits function better than pills in this situation. Fruits, as opposed to isolated powders, provide a complex mixture of antioxidants, polyphenols, bioactive chemicals, and micronutrients that combine to maximize the internal environment for muscle growth and maintenance. Have you ever questioned why some people recover from illness or injury more rapidly than others? It frequently boils down to how well their bodies can heal muscle tissue, and that effectiveness is controlled by nutritional signaling and inflammatory levels, two areas in which fruits like pomegranates, apples, and berries provide definite benefits. This is an easy tool to use. A handful of cranberries or an apple with the skin on it might be a great way to start the day or finish your strength training session. The objective is to provide signaling molecules like ursolic acid when your muscle cells are prepared for growth, not to increase insulin or glucose load. This is what your body is doing. By doing that, you are interacting with muscle rather than only feeding it. It's time to develop, you're telling it. Here are the nutrients. There is not much inflammation. Let's start over. And after age 65, this connection becomes even more crucial. Why? As we age, the stem cells responsible for muscle regeneration and repair become less active due to satellite cells. But by lowering chronic inflammation and enhancing mitochondrial function, some plant chemicals may help revive these cells, according to a study published in the Journal of Physiology. This is the bottom line. Reaching your protein goal isn't the only thing to consider while eating for muscle after 60. It involves establishing an internal environment that promotes the growth of muscular tissue, and some fruits establish that state, particularly those high in chemicals derived from the skin, such as ursolic acid. This is how we change the focus of the discussion from simply eating healthily to eating for longevity, strength, and resilience. It may not be your age if you've ever had poor energy, a longer recovery from physical exercise, or a heaviness in your legs that wasn't there in your 40s. Your mitochondria could be the cause. Your cell's powerhouses are mitochondria, particularly those of your muscles, which have some of the body's highest metabolic activity. The quantity and functionality of mitochondria decrease with age. As a result, your muscles receive less energy, heal more slowly, and are more susceptible to injury. However, one fruit, blueberries, has shown itself to be a powerful ally in preserving and even revitalizing these little power plants. The pigments that give blueberries their rich blue hue are called anthocyanins, and they belong to a class of antioxidants. These substances directly affect the health of the mitochondria. After just 12 weeks, older persons who ate 35 grams of freeze-dried blueberries every day demonstrated better mitochondrial function in muscular tissue, greater strength, and improved mobility, according to a 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology. At the cellular level, amazing things are taking place. Anthocyanins increase the expression of PGC1A, a gene that promotes the formation of new mitochondria and decrease oxidative stress, a key cause of mitochondrial deterioration. Consider it analogous to simultaneously ordering additional backup units and turning on your cellular energy generator. Have you ever seen how much more difficult it is to recover from a workout, stroll, or trek now than it was when you were younger? It's slower mitochondrial recovery, not just muscular discomfort. The good news is that it can be changed. Adding 1 to 2 cups of fresh or frozen blueberries to your morning smoothie or post-workout meal is a straightforward science-based protocol. Because the preventive effects accumulate over time, consistency is crucial. This is a long-term nutritional investment in your cellular energy systems, not a superfood trick. Additionally, blueberries benefit the brain in addition to the muscles. Blood flow and inflammation in the brain are enhanced by the same anthocyanins that increase mitochondrial function in muscle cells. You are thereby improving your mental and physical stamina when you consume blueberries. Consider subscribing if this realization is assisting you and you're beginning to realize the impact that even minor everyday adjustments can have. We dissect the science every week so you can take charge of your biology one step at a time. Another realization is that aging is about adaptability rather than deterioration. And your cell's capacity to produce, utilize, and restore energy determines your capacity for adaptation. Blueberries promote precisely that through their impact on mitochondrial biogenesis. Indeed, when paired with physical activity, the benefit is enhanced. The benefits of anthocyanins can be enhanced by even a 20-minute walk after a meal, which improves glucose management and increases muscle fuel efficiency. The cellular engines that drive your mobility, metabolism, and mental clarity are restored by blueberries, which have a far deeper function than the flavor or color we typically associate with fruit. All you need to do is take a tiny quantity every day to start rebalancing the mitochondria. Most people never directly experience one of the quiet factors that causes age-related muscle loss and a general deterioration in physical ability, but its effects are evident everywhere. Joint stiffness, diminished strength, and ongoing exhaustion during a delayed recovery. Chronic low-grade inflammation is that force. The body's inflammatory set point tends to increase with age. This is called inflaging, and it makes the environment unfriendly to the preservation of muscle. Sarcopenia is accelerated by inflammatory chemicals such as interleukin-6, tumor necrosis factor alpha, and C-reactive protein, which also damage mitochondria, interfere with insulin signaling, and impair muscle protein synthesis. However, a fruit that doesn't originate from a rare Amazonian plant has the ability to significantly lower these inflammatory signals. Please let me know where you're coming from today before we begin. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Additionally, remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss any of Senior Health Tips' top health advice. And I want to know whether you're with me if you're now watching. If this video resonates with you, type 1 in the comments section. If not, type 0. It is derived from the common tart cherry. The Montmorency variety in particular is rich in anthocyanins and polyphenols, which have been demonstrated to lower inflammation markers in muscle and blood. Accordingly, in a randomized controlled trial that was published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, individuals who drank tart cherry juice for 7 days prior to and following a vigorous exercise session reported a decrease in inflammation, a significant reduction in muscle soreness, and a quicker recovery of strength than those who received a placebo. Here's what, though, makes this particularly pertinent after age 60. Not only do tart cherries aid after intense exercise, they aid in reducing baseline inflammation. Even in the absence of exercise, studies on older persons have shown that daily intake of tart cherry juice reduces markers of oxidative stress and lowers CRP levels, a crucial indicator of systemic inflammation. By consuming sour cherry juice or dried tart cherries, you are supplying your body with natural substances that inhibit NF-κB, a key trigger for the inflammatory response. By lowering catabolic signaling, the breakdown signals that rise with age, you're also maintaining muscular tissue, lowering uric acid levels, and promoting joint health. Here is a basic procedure to follow. In the evening, ideally 1 to 2 hours before bed, consume 8 to 12 ounces of sour cherry juice that has not been sweetened. Why this evening? Because melatonin, a hormone that promotes sleep, is naturally found in tart cherries. It aids in the healing process during deep sleep. Additionally, a large portion of muscle regeneration occurs during good sleep. Consider this a 3-for-1 advantage. You increase sleep, aid in muscle regeneration, and lessen inflammation, all of which are crucial for correcting sarcopenia on their own. Have you observed that it takes longer for your body to reset after a demanding day or physical activity? It frequently indicates subclinical inflammation. Although it is chronic and steals your strength in the background, it is neither acute nor evident. You can regain that strength with tart cherries. Here's another inspirational reframing. Not only is inflammation a result of aging, but it may also be changed. The foods you select have the potential to either quench the fire or fan it. In addition to being delicious, tart cherries are among the most effective natural anti-inflammatory remedies available. In the long run, lowering inflammation does more than only protect muscle. It safeguards your cardiovascular system, metabolism, and even your mental faculties. The foods you eat have an impact on all of these systems, which are interrelated. The most effective strategies for maintaining muscular health might occasionally be found in plain sight. Bananas, for instance. Bananas, which are frequently written off as being only sugar, are actually a neuromuscular superfood that becomes particularly significant beyond the age of 60. Why? Because mineral depletion is one of the often ignored reasons of cramps, muscle weakness, and even poor balance. Key electrolytes, particularly potassium and magnesium, which are necessary for nerve transmission, muscular contraction, and hydration, are often less absorbed and retained as we age. Let's dissect this. Willpower alone does not cause your muscles to contract. Nerves send them electrical messages, which they react to. The signal passes across the muscular membrane via a series of ion exchanges, with potassium entering and sodium exiting. Your strength decreases along with the signal when your potassium levels are low. About 425 milligrams of potassium, or over 10% of your daily requirements, can be found in one medium banana. Potassium aids in preventing unpleasant cramps that frequently interfere with sleep or impair mobility in older persons. as well as reducing muscle tiredness and maintaining electrolyte balance. It's not only potassium, though. Magnesium, another mineral found in bananas, aids in hundreds of cellular functions, including the relaxation of muscles. This is crucial because insufficient magnesium causes muscles to remain stiff for longer, recover more slowly, and increase the risk of strain. Higher potassium intake was linked to greater muscle mass and less age-related muscle loss, particularly in older women, according to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Additionally, magnesium consumption has been connected to enhancements in physical performance, leg power, and grip strength in those over 60. So, how can bananas be made into a useful protocol? This is a basic utility. Within 30 minutes of light to moderate exercise, eat one banana with a protein source, such as Greek yogurt or whey soup. While the minerals aid in muscle function and rehydration, the natural carbohydrates aid in the replenishment of glycogen stores. Muscle repair is facilitated by the protein pairing. Barbs is palm, strong, heart, and O, H. As an alternative, bananas can be consumed with nut butter in the evening to provide minerals and a long-lasting energy boost before bed. This can help with muscle recovery the next day and lessen cramping at night. Indeed, natural sugars are present in bananas, but when combined with fiber, fat, or protein, their glycemic effect is lessened. Thus, you shouldn't be afraid of the fruit, particularly when it comes to supplying your body with minerals that are important for muscles, but that it can't keep for a long time. This is a thought-provoking question. Have you experienced a sudden weakening, more frequent cramping in your muscles, or slower reaction times when standing or moving? These may be the first indications of mineral depletion, and bananas provide a cheap, natural, and easily digestible way to replace the lost minerals. I would also advise you to subscribe if you find this summary of dietary strategies supported by science useful. Without the commotion or hype, this channel is committed to assisting you in making more informed, evidence-based decisions around your health. Consistency is more important than perfection, as is the case with all nutrition. A banana every day, especially after exercise or during recovery, might help restore the muscular electrolyte balance your body needs to move with strength and confidence. However, a banana once a month won't accomplish anything. In summary, bananas are much more than just a quick snack. For aged muscles, they serve as a daily mineral delivery mechanism. Imagine attempting to reconstruct a house using bricks, wood, nails, and all the necessary supplies, but having no means of getting them to the construction site. When oxygen and nutrients needed for muscle regrowth cannot get to the damaged tissue, that is what occurs within your body. Additionally, decreased blood supply after age 60 is one of the unnoticed obstacles to muscle regeneration. Pomegranates, nature's nitric oxide enhancer, can help with that. The polyphenols found in pomegranates, particularly elagitannins, are transformed by the body into urolithins, which greatly boost the synthesis of nitric oxide, or NO. A vasodilator is NO. It improves circulation and increases the amount of oxygen and nutrients that reach working muscle tissue by relaxing and widening blood vessels. After 60, why is this important? Because the endothelium, the thin layer of cells lining your blood vessels, deteriorates with age, causing stiffer arteries and decreased blood flow. This affects more than just your heart. It has an impact on your muscles' capacity to get the nourishment and rest they require. Pomegranate extract used for just 2 weeks dramatically increased blood flow, oxygen uptake, and physical performance during walking and exercise in older persons, according to a 2016 study published in Clinical Nutrition. Additionally, urolithin A pomegranate-delayed component, induces mitophagy, a process that eliminates damaged mitochondria and promotes greater muscular strength and endurance, according to a different study published in Nature Metabolism. This is a significant event. Pomegranate chemicals do more than merely increase blood flow. They simultaneously improve nutrient delivery and cellular cleanliness. Have you ever had the impression that your muscles aren't firing as well as they once did? Like, you get tired more quickly than you used to, or there's a little lag. It's frequently more than just a muscle problem. The problem is with the vascular supply. Additionally, pomegranates provide a healthy method of improving the effectiveness of your body's natural nutrition delivery mechanism. This is a straightforward protocol supported by science. 30 to 60 minutes prior to walking or light exercise, consume 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened pomegranate juice. This timing helps to increase blood flow during movement by coincident with the peak in nitric oxide release. As an alternative, mix pomegranate seeds with circulation-enhancing polyphenols and muscle-building amino acids in a protein-rich salad or yogurt bowl. And it's acceptable to start small. When consumed regularly, even a few teaspoons of concentrated pomegranate juice can have an impact. What occurs in your body and brain when you do this is as follows. Nitric oxide increases cerebral blood flow, which helps with focus. Increased oxygen and amino acid delivery to your muscles promotes repair and endurance. Increased mitochondrial efficiency boosts energy and recuperation capabilities. In this way, diet starts to serve as precision medicine as well as fuel, focusing on the systems that aging tends to weaken. And keeping this in mind is empowering. Your blood vessels are constantly changing. They react to the food you give them. Your body's internal highway system is physically improved when you eat more foods that encourage vasodilation, such as pomegranates. Ask yourself, what am I doing to support circulation? The next time you're cooking, because healthy circulation promotes lifetime mobility, brain and muscle health, and heart health. Although eating knowledge is powerful, research indicates that it is rarely sufficient to bring about long-lasting change, particularly after the age of 60, when biological rhythms change and habits become deeply embedded. Therefore, behavioral changes rather than dietary changes are the last essential to correcting sarcopenia. These fruits, apples, blueberries, tart cherries, bananas, and pomegranates, have scientific support, but they must be incorporated into your life in a way that your brain will remember. This is the intersection of nutritional neuroscience and behavioral science. First, let's talk about timing. The body is most receptive during 2 windows, according to numerous studies. Within 30 to 60 minutes after working out. At this point, muscle cells are ready to absorb glucose and incorporate amino acids. Insulin sensitivity is also at its peak during this time. Growth hormone surges before bed, and muscle regeneration speeds up as you sleep. Eating the proper nutrition before bed promotes muscle breakdown reduction and nighttime repair. This is a useful procedure. Combine 1,525 grams of protein, such as Greek yogurt, protein shakes, or cottage cheese, with a banana or blueberries after working out. Eat a small dish of tart cherries or apple slices with nut butter before bed. This combination of slow deletion energy and sleep-promoting chemicals has anti-inflammatory properties. Let's discuss pairings next. Consuming certain fruit components with lipids or protein improves their absorption. For instance, eating pomegranate polyphenols alongside healthy fats like avocado or olive oil improves their absorption. When combined with dairy proteins, anthocyanins and blueberries become more bioavailable. Because apple skin and ursolic acid are fat-soluble, they work better when consumed with a little nut butter, nuts, or yogurt. Making every meal into a scientific endeavor is not the goal here. It's about little improvements. What simple addition can I make to make this more beneficial for muscle health? The largest obstacle is consistency, which we will now discuss. According to behavioral neuroscience, the factors that contribute to the durability of habits are identity alignment, emotional salience, and repetition. This is a cognitive psychology instrument. Automate fruit-based routines by using when-then phrases. For instance, I'll have a banana with protein after my walk. I'll put out my pomegranate juice as soon as I begin making dinner. These claims activate the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, which is the area of the brain in charge of executive control, by associating conduct with a reliable trigger. Stated differently, it lessens the mental strain of choosing a healthy option. Lastly, emotion is important. Your brain opposes an action if it feels like punishment or obligation. However, it becomes reinforcing when it feels like a stride toward power, vitality, and independence. Imagine what it would be like to ascend stairs without trepidation. If I were to trust my body once more, how would I go about my day? Despite their seeming simplicity, fruits can be a daily vote for that future self when used wisely. Therefore, it's not merely a matter of what I should eat. What system can I set up to automatically make the correct decision? Begin modestly. Select one fruit, one pairing, and one time of day. From there, build. Perfection is not the point here. It has to do with momentum. Let's take a time to reflect on everything we just discussed, not just as discrete facts, but as a whole, scientifically supported plan for recovering control, power, and energy after the age of 60. We started with a strong reframing. Protein isn't the only factor in muscle health. It involves indicating to your body that the moment has come for you to mature. The moment to fix is now. Furthermore, some fruits have the precise chemicals that safely, naturally, and incredibly precisely amplify these signals. You discovered that ursulic acid-rich apples and cranberries enhance satellite cell function and stimulate mTOR, making them effective tools for reversing age-related muscle loss. Please let me know where you're coming from today before we begin. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have and leave a comment below. Additionally, remember to click the subscribe button and enable notifications so you don't miss any of Senior Health Tips' top health advice. You observed how the anthocyanins in blueberries improve mitochondrial function, re-establishing your muscle cells' energy factories and boosting your strength.